Cookie with Wordy Nerd. I think I'm almost caught up with editing. Yes. Boy, that, when your computers die, it takes you a while to catch up. I have actually a rather large-ish, not a huge haul compared to some people, but a larger haul than I've had in a while because I've been on my buying ban. Yay, saving money. So I have a nice little pile of... Actually, I've read a lot of these now, but they are new to you guys. So, here's the first. I actually did break down and buy The Allegiant by Veronica Roth. This was the third of the series. I'll just do a quick mini review on what I think of this. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5. I'm somewhere teetering in that range. I did enjoy having closure. I'm still not sure of what I think about the path that these books took. I'm not indifferent, I am just indecisive of how I feel about this book. It was good. It was good, I have closure. They're quick reads, so they weren't major time, requirements needed for it. It was okay. It was fine. I have a thing right now, that thing about trilogies. Meh. I'm not sure what that was. Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. I had actually subscribed a long time ago to Ransom Riggs's YouTube channel, and they are married and they are hysterical. So when I watched a couple of their vlogs together, I ended up going out and buying her book. And there's a couple of them. I think they're trilogies. Just give me a good, solid book. I don't care if you write 3 of them, just don't set them up as a trilogy. I'm so tired of that genre. Anyway, this one sounds really interesting. I'm sure you guys all know about it. I'm kind of late on this bandwagon, where her touch, when she touches people, the main character, they die. I sort of liked the idea that it sounds like a world that I would like to read about, so I went ahead and purchased it. It was rather inexpensive on Amazon. And what else? I can't remember if I talked about this one or not. This is Me Before You, and I got this on sale at Target before the holidays. I finished this one, and I really enjoyed this a lot. 5 out of 5. It's a penguin, yes. Theirs tend to not disappoint me too much. This one, I will do a little review of it at some point, but I'm just going to say, if you see it on sale like I did, pick it up. It's a very interesting read. And another one I got at Target was The Wishing Thread. This is one of those magical realisms, and I may or may not have talked about this one. But like I said, I'm losing track, so I'll do a little review on this one later. I think it's 3 women, the 3 sisters, and an aunt, and they live in the Headless Horseman's town. And they're, of course, magical, because this is kind of like with the magical realism, but their magic comes through knitting, and they can knit spells into their gloves, hats, scarves, if you so desire. So this one was really very interesting. I will do a little chit-chat about him later. We had that Books A Million, I think it is, open up at the mall in the next town, so I have been making little tiny treks there to see what's on sale, and they had the buy 2 get 1 free sale, I think it was, and this is one that I bought, and then the next 2 are here somewhere. Here they are. So I'll talk about the next. Sisterhood Everlasting by Anne Brashares. This is book 4 of our adventures with the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Very interesting twists. I didn't care for book 2, so then I didn't read 3, and then I picked up 4. I don't really care if I go out of order sometimes with series-style books, but they fill you in enough so you don't really miss anything. The recap is usually enough. This one was interesting enough to me that I might go back and buy the 3rd just to see a couple other things from that point of view. So this one is, I think they're about like 30s, around my age, slightly younger. I think they're just about turning 30, and where life has them right now. So it's quite interesting. There was a twist in there, I'm not going to give it away, that I actually did not see coming, and then I was like, WTF? But they worked around it. I mean, it's part of life, so I guess it was needed. So if you liked that series, it was $5.97 there, so that was a pretty good deal. And I also picked up The Ballad of Tom Dooley, $5.97 also. This is based upon that song, Hang Down Your Head, Tom Dooley. And it goes back through the histories and tries to figure out what happened in this murder trial during this time. It just sounded really interesting, and I like the typography. So we'll see. It was possibly one of my weirder buys. It's not my normal style of book, but it sounded interesting. And the freebie was the, I should have looked at this more, Diviners. I should not do these late at night because I'm half asleep. I have heard some things about this. This is by Libba Bray. Kind of a hefty one. It had an interesting cover to it. And as you guys know, I am a sucker towards the layouts and designs and the typographies and all that. I don't know much about it, but I've heard a lot of hoo-ha about it, so I'm going to check that out. We'll call him the free one. Then I did some book buybacks at Second and Charles, and while they were doing my calculations, I was like, I'll just pick up a book or two. Or 5. This is Strawberry Fields. It's a novel, and this is by the author of The Short History of Tractors in Ukrainian, I think was the title. In Ukrainian, yes. Marina Lucha. God, 2 in a row. I'm batting 0, guys. I'm batting 0. This hall is full of mispronunciations. The other one, The Short History, I read that and enjoyed it a lot, and it kept with the same branding, which I do enjoy when they do that, and I don't know anything about this book, so it's going to be a pure surprise when I start reading it. And they all fell. Yay! This one just cracked me up. Seema's Undergardens for Women. So this woman, I think it's Seema, what's her name? I know I did read the part of this. Seema Goldner teaches other women to appreciate their bodies, but feels betrayed by her own. Shamed by her infertility and by a secret from her youth, she has given up on happiness and surrendered to a bitter marriage. But then Timna, a young Israel with enviable cleavage, becomes a shop seamstress, and then they start making ladies' undergarments. And it just sounded really amusing. So I picked this up. It doesn't look like a terribly long read. I don't even know if I looked on the inside. Nothing outstanding. It does have a nice texture. But it sounded like an amusing story, and I paid $7, so that's not too bad. We'll see if it's any good. I'm about 3/4 through this one. The Blind Contessa's New Machine. This has been very interesting so far. It's a Penguin also. I paid $4 for this beast at Second and Charles. I do love that store. Basically, the Contessa of the story, our main protagonist, right before her wedding, is going blind, and no one's really believing her, except for her best friend, and he's an inventor. She goes blind, gets married, and he builds her a typewriter. And the story is based upon this sort of novel invention. So I like what it says. Desperate to communicate with Carolina, Turi, that's the friend, will create a peculiar contraption for her, the world's first typewriter. His gift ignites a passionate love affair that will mark both of their lives forever. So there's a sort of triangle happening there. I've been really enjoying it, though. Very vivid landscape description, so when you're reading it, you almost feel like you're in it. So I'm giving that an A so far. This is another one of those Target bargains. Oh, I feel like I've already done this. So I won't talk long about this because I feel like I did. Mennonite Meets Mr. Right by Rhoda Jansen. This is a follow-up to her other biography. What is it? Mennonite in a Little Black Dress. These are from Target also. They're both there. Just really quick reads. I can chip them out pretty quick in the evening. And the chapters are quick, and it just goes through her trials and tribulations of life, sort of branching to different worlds, so to speak. My area has a lot of Mennonite and Amish, so I always pick up those books. I find them very interesting. I don't remember where I bought this one. It might have been Target, but I can't remember. Where'd You Go, Bernadette? and this is by Maria Semple. I loved this book. I did read this one. I think it's one of the first of the pile that I gobbled up. I did not anticipate that I was going to like this one as much as I did. I'm giving this one a 5 out of 5. It was a really interesting storyline. And I will talk about him later. Basically, it's a gifted girl whose mother is gifted, and so is the father. So they're like these 3 geniuses, and the mother disappears. We find out where did you go, Bernadette? It's sort of the whole point of the novel, and it's told from different points of view. I might as well just finish this now, the review, and then if I forget, you'll know what I'm talking about. Some chapters it's the daughter, some chapters it's the mother, a neighbor, a teacher, the superintendent. It's all different points of view, so you're sort of seeing, you know, the story of Bernadette's disappearance and where she went from the eyes of multiple people, and you have to sort of piece it together. So it's sort of like a mystery. But it has closure. Yay! Yay! Really good. I think I saw this on the cover of Goodreads. It must be gaining steam in the literary world. It was really enjoyable. Does it have any... It just is one of the year's best books. Actually, it might be. It's pretty good. I really enjoyed it. And now we get to another one that I hear rumors it's going to be a trilogy. Stop it. Just stop it, publishing world. I do not mind series, but for some reason, I feel like it's Lord of the Rings 2000, the movie trilogy, Leftovers, and then the Twilight trilogy concept. Like this need to get you to stay. I feel like your work can stand alone without having to end your story halfway. Or end it, and then worse, give us a cliffhanger. Cliffhanger! I had such completion with this one. And then the last 2 pages are like, God, I'm going to have to go buy the other book. I hate that. I mean, I like it, but I hate it. Witches of East End by Melissa Delacruz. Delacruz? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of our Second and Charles stickers everywhere. Maybe over my Christmas, or I guess it's just holiday break now, winter break, I will buy some of that Gugon and sit and work on these covers because they are rather annoying. 3... people. Okay, so it's the mother and her 2 daughters, witches, of course, in the title. Sort of magical realism based. I don't think that was the point of it. I think it was just supposed to be more occult, supernatural, fantasy sort of style, but it did have the magical realism sense about it. Ingrid the librarian, let's see if I can remember. Ingrid the librarian, Freya the bartender, and the mother's Joanna. Joanna can raise from the dead, Freya does love potions, and Ingrid... I don't remember what Ingrid did. Predict the future and weave knots can solve anything from infertility to infidelity. I would never have remembered that. But she was a really enjoyable character. I just don't remember her terminology. So basically they live in this town, all sorts of crap starts happening, and they're like, what is going on? And something happens that points the finger at them, and it's like Salem Witch Trials round 2. So that was really interesting. And then on Amazon for really cheap, the sequel, Serpent's Kiss. And I think there's a 3rd one coming out in February. I think on Valentine's Day, around that time. And then this is what happens afterwards. And I actually just read like the recap. Like, this is what happened in the entire last book, in case you didn't buy it. That was exhausting. But I got a lot. But I read about half of them already, and then I have another load to take to Second and Charles, and then I will do more. They'll be for February. I'll save those for February. It's almost February. That means it's almost spring, and then winter's gone. This winter is atrocious. It's too cold. I'm in the wrong climate, guys. I watch a lot of the daily vloggers, and they're either out in like California or Florida, and I'm like, oh, Florida would be nice. They're complaining it's like 50 degrees. And I could do that. Instead of 0 and having freezing pipes. Guess what happened to me this weekend? So I hope you're enjoying this frigid winter. And let me know what you were reading in the comments below. And if you've read any of these, let me know what you think of them as well. Alright, I'll see you next time. Bye.